Yeah. Welcome to WHL Podcast. Welcome to WHL Podcast. Bringing you here today. It's Boy Eddie Jones. My guy, my partner's out. You know, he's not here today. You know, due to this virus thing that's going on. He's not sick, thank God. But you know, a coworker of his in the building. I guess she tested positive for whatever, so they got my man on lockdown. You know, they got him on government hold. So that's what I call it, government hold. Don't go nowhere, stay indoors, and stuff like that till you get tested. But he's good. He's nice and healthy, but he just was exposed to somebody around that was. So I got my brother in here with me today. Got my brother, and my brother over here today. You know. Of course, Jay is still here. He's here too. You know, And we still he in the comments saying it's your boy Ray. He here. He gonna chime in. He gonna call in and the phone lines, are they open, Jay? Yeah, the phone lines are open. So the number is 410-632-6300. That number is 410-632-6300. Yeah, so you know, I had a scare again.
Yeah, no, you called me.
Again, I was down. That's why I have nobody seeing me on social media. So I was down, man. I was down. Yeah, I was down. I went out Sunday.
And that's what I told you.
I went out Sunday.
I told you, man.
I went out Sunday. I went out Sunday and I sweating. You know, went outside thinking it's summertime and stuff like that. Yeah. Wake up Monday. Coughing, hacking, chest full of cold, automatic. And then, mind you, I went to sleep on the news, listen to the news. So when I wake up and I hear that talking about, I'm like, I said, Lord, it got me. It got me, not like this, Lord. But yeah, I had a cold, man. My chest was all stuffed up and stuff like that, man. So I was down for a minute. Nah, man, it was just my chest cold, man. From I got allergies
Same
and stuff
thing.
like that.
My whole house like it.
All that from playing out here with this weather. You know what I mean? But I'm back better than ever. You know what I mean? You know, so I had to come reach out to the people. I know y'all ain't doing much, so I came to give y'all some good things to talk about. You know, and my sponsors is still JCI Environmental. It's still JCI Environmental. Do all your plumbing needs that you need, whatever you need done. Holla at them guys. Tony Walk over there, and that is JCI Environmental. We gonna.
What's their phone number? You get their phone number?
The phone number is.
Oh, it comes at the bottom. It comes
at the bottom of the screen.
So true.
It's 240-643-3483.
True.
It is 240-643-2483. And their email is up there too, jci96@outlook.com. Reach out to them guys, man. They take care of you. They work 24/7. Hey, even Corona out here, I guarantee you that man is still out here right now, pumping grease traps and fixing toilets. Guaranteed.
Definitely got his dirty boots on.
Guarantee you. So yeah, he's a hustler. He can still get it. He got mask on and all that, but he's out there. You know. But let's get into this subject, man. This subject today is mental health and the effects and how it affects the community. What made me come up with this topic was I started thinking about all the things that's going on and around in the community and everywhere, for real, the world period. And I think what is the baseline to it? Like, it got to be something deeper. No, people just don't wake up and think, hey, I'm gonna do some crazy shit today. You do have something like that.
No. It come from. I think it. Me personally, I think it come from definitely your past. You ain't gonna do too much without that history to you.
Yeah, I also I did some research on it, and it's several branches that come with the mental health thing. It's several disorders that come with the mental health.
Right.
You know what I mean? And each one of them gives certain effects, and it gives off certain, just traits. So I'm gonna read them off to you. The first one is mood disorder.
Oh,
which is depression, bipolar.
I think it's a lot of women who suffer that bipolar depression.
So that's a mood disorder.
Yeah, I think that mood, that emotions,
which all is under the mother blanket of mental health.
Yeah.
Because this is definitions of mental health.
Yeah.
This is stages or outcomes from mental health.
Symptoms of mental health.
That's all covered in mental health. So this is something that I looked up or whatever. So you got mood disorders, which is depression, the bipolar. You got anxiety disorders.
Anxiety, definitely. I know all the men I know deal with anxiety. They might not show it or act like it, but a lot of us is over anxious, man. We jump the gun. We don't know how to pause before you do something. We don't think before you do stuff most times.
So that could be a reason why a lot of guys are scared of commitment. They get anxiety.
Definitely.
They get anxiety, like,
definitely.
What am I getting into?
It's the unknown. Just like the virus we dealing with now, it's the unknown is what you don't know that makes you more scared.
Exactly.
And then if you got any type of, if you've been like out in the streets like most dudes, you already seen and been on both sides of the fence. So it's like you waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
That's
that anxious, that what if, I know something great happened type thing. That's that. Yeah. But that all plays in part of the community. That all the things are things that affects people, and not just our community.
That's every community. That's humans.
I'm not just saying
that's humans.
I'm not just saying the community that I live in. Let me get that straight. Let me put that out there. It's not just the community that I live in. This is every community that's dealing with any type of problem. Because if your community don't have a bunch of shooting, a bunch of drug dealing, you got some underlying issues going on. You got serial killers.
Well, you got
kidnapping.
You think about it this way. Middle class, they got higher to fall, so that anxiety is crazy. You don't want to end up in the hood.
Yeah.
So if you're a white man in middle America, you definitely anxious because you definitely gotta make sure your family good because you is not trying to end up.
So that's what anxiety plays.
Yeah. I think it played more with men than anything because women got some type of I don't know what they got. They be calm, man.
Nah, hell no.
Most women are calm.
No, man, you can't see most women as calm.
I believe most women. They got moods and anger with the first thing. But as far as they don't have high anxiety. They don't be anxious about nothing because they in control of most of the stuff.
So what you telling me a woman don't get as anxious as a man in a relationship or period?
I don't think so. Because most women, like they say, they know when they're gonna give it to you 10 seconds after seeing you, and they know how far they're gonna go in a relationship after 10 minutes of a conversation. So they more or less in control. It's the dude who gotta catch up to everything and try and figure it out. I see most women being they more organized what they got going on. Just like last week, y'all talking about side pieces.
Right.
They not anxious.
They not
because they already know what they gonna do. They know they role. Now it's up to the man whether he gonna, play the role with him.
So you telling me insecurity isn't a part of anxiety?
That's a good one.
Think about it.
That I mean, but I see insecurity more of an emotion.
But they don't have. It's no parts of that they can tie in together.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I just don't.
Not saying that females are insecure. I'm talking about just period.
Yeah. But I don't see a lot.
You could be insecure. I think he out there cheating. That's not a part of anxiety.
But hold on. That goes back to me saying they be more organized because the women know when they man cheating.
Yeah, they just gonna see if you gonna.
They just want to see how far you gonna go. They giving you a lot of rope to hang yourself.
Yeah, see if you gonna keep throwing.
And then there's some of them who just kick the chair after the first sign of saying it, oh no, just gonna choke yourself, little dude.
Yeah. So I seen this one right here, right? I seen the joint. I'm like, is this more of a man thing or a female thing?
What's that?
Personality disorder.
Personality disorder?
That's part of mental health.
I think that's both. I think personality disorder, for me, I think it comes from what type of childhood you had. Because if you gotta think, most of your childhood is going to build your personality anyway.
Uh-huh.
So it depends on how you grew up, where you grew up, the parent situation, the love you got, the love you didn't get. That designs your personality to me.
But you could be on some old. You could have been just being a product of your environment.
That's what I mean. That's that's your
so
upbringing.
You
change with the environment. So it's
thing.
like, yeah. So it's like that could go for men and women. Because I don't know. I'm starting to think women are more gangster than men because of the 90s era. Think about it. Their mothers grew up around the thugs. Most of the thugs went to jail. The women grew up to be a little hard shell. They knew how to handle the money better. They knew how to knew how to take that hardship a little bit better than the guys nowadays.
So after we explain, have talks on all these disorders I'm gonna we talking about. I'm gonna go back to my original thought on the mental health thing, on how it impacts the community. I'm gonna go back and give it that grand scale on it.
Right.
And then I want to chime in because this is one of my fields.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm gonna let you know something about mental health that a lot of folks
Did you ever study it?
Realize it? So this is my field right here. So
right.
Oh wow.
Because I'm part of what we try to do on our radio show is we really try to dig into why Little Pookie and Little Peanut are the way that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share something with you that you're going to say, oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize that with mental health.
Gotcha.
But go ahead.
Yeah, so I got, what was that, personality disorder?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got psychotic disorders.
Those are the crazy.
Schizophrenics.
Those are the ones who slash
multiple
your
personalities.
tires. That's the dude who stand in your bushes. That go for men and women.
Yeah, I'm not pinning that on.
Yeah,
I'm not pinning that. I'm just saying that's this period of things that's going on around you.
Yeah, but that also coming from your upbringing or your that's more hereditary.
I was gonna say I thought that was like something that's
genes.
like
that's in your genes.
Like
yeah, that's in your
just
genes.
wake up and
that's
say
in your genes.
I'm gonna be schizo today.
Yeah, no, that's in your genes. Man. You saw your mama wild out on daddy, or you saw daddy.
You ain't have to see it though. That could just be in the blood.
I don't know. That's psychotic. That's psychotic one. That's the.
Yeah, you don't just.
That's level 5. That's code red.
Yeah, you can just go to be psychotic.
Yeah, that's code red.
The phone lines is open. If you do want to chime in on this, you got something to say about any of these disorders, any of this mental health things. The number is 410-632-6300. The number is 410-632-6300.
Well, fortunately for me, fortunately for us as a people, I don't think it's a lot of the last ones out.
What for psychotic and personality?
They're more the psychotic ones.
Which one, the psychotics?
Yeah, like I don't see a lot of those are the rare ones that just don't know how to handle their emotions. To me,
man, listen, believe it or not, they out there.
I can believe it.
And when you run across them, you gonna know you ran across them.
So what's the craziest thing that happened to you? That a female did that was psychotic to you?
Man, I don't know.
I can tell you mine.
I be laughing at
it. And to me, it was funny.
Like, there was no bodily harm came to me.
That's what I was just about to say.
You know what I mean? I be laughing at like you just.
So that's why I said it wasn't psychotic. But the craziest thing that I had happened to me was somebody mysteriously egged my house.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And this the crazy part.
I remember that.
They didn't hit my house but once and hit my 2 neighbors' houses 15 times through the mail slot, through everything else. So that was they was bad aim. It's rarer than you think. Now there's people who might be moody.
I don't know if you necessarily call it psychotic or emotional or
emotions.
That's
what I'm thinking. I don't want to.
Which can still be taken a little bit as
because emotions brings
right.
But everybody had the mood disorder.
As far as a psychotic situation,
it's rare. That's rare. You ain't never had nobody come through slash your tire.
Down in Virginia, my boss called me up and said, "Your wife's in the yard, man." All the electric was turned on.
That's a little movie.
She start tags in the 4-door.
So that's the price of dealing with a black woman.
Yeah, had leather seats.
Mad, though. That's
nah, it was cloth seats because it was all wet.
Hey man, that black
had the jump start. Had the jump start.
When you make a black woman,
no, that's a black woman score.
So you can't.
Yeah, they ain't psychotic.
They ain't psychotic. That's normal.
They ain't psychotic.
That's normal. I'm talking about you wake up, she got the blade to your throat.
I've had that one happen too. So one night I was hanging out with my cousin, right?
But see, that was all behind a situation.
Right, I ain't seen my cousin in a long time, so we hung out all night. So
right.
When I got in the house, all the lights was out, and I was like, "Oh, I flicked the switch. The switch wouldn't come on." I was like, "What the hell?" I didn't know the break. I just thought the bulb was out.
Right.
I was like, "Fuck it, I know how to get upstairs."
Right.
Like, just feel my way up. Right. So I walk up. I get up to the top of the stairs. I open up the door to go in the room. I flick on the light. That light's working.
Oh,
I
my
flick on the
God.
light. As soon as I flick on the light, my wife had a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber aimed straight at my dome. Now, what she thought was that there was nothing in the chamber. So she went to flick it back to throw one in the chamber.
Jeez.
There was already one in the chamber.
And that one popped out.
That one, no. When she went to go pull it back, it jammed up. Another bullet that was trying to get in the chamber jammed up, and I could see the shit kind of like hanging up.
Off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bullet hanging out and
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, so I reached out to her. I said, "Give me that. That
You
ain't
know how
no
to work
damn
it.
toy."
You know how to work it.
But I didn't realize, you know what I mean? There was one in there. Like
she
all she had to do was,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
all
That
she had to
ain't-
do
that's
is-
a little moody.
That ain't psychotic.
all she had
though.
to do was.
That's just a little moody.
Now that's
the
a
price
little
dealing
touch.
with
That's
what they call a little touch.
That's dealing with a black woman.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's
If she'd have shot you in the leg when you walked through the door, that's psychotic.
yeah. So
That's why I know not to play on my wife.
reason why I say
you know what I mean? Like-
my ex ain't never go that far, but
Right.
we broke up one time, and she I had some clothes at the house, and she sent me her clothes or whatever, and she sent it to her sister brought it to me. They brought it over there and shit. I mean, it was all folded, neated. It was all neat, folded up and shit. I'm like, damn, okay. I thought she was a fuck my shit. All right. So I take the shit out, Greg.
Oh yeah, I remember that bag. I
Man,
remember that bag.
every shirt was
Yeah.
cut at the seam,
Yeah.
all the way around. Every sock was cut in half.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
pair of
Damn.
pants was cut. At the
Couple
And
of
seam.
then
my
she took the
shirts.
time to fold it.
Yeah.
And
Now
folded
that's-
it back
now
up.
that's-
son.
Couple of my shirts
Now
was in
that's-
that bag. I remember
now
that
that's
bag.
son.
Yeah.
Son,
That's
so if you ain't know, but you like, that bitch crazy.
Right. Right.
No, she just was a little moody.
Just a little moody.
Just a little moody.
Just a little moody. You know
That's a
what I mean?
little, that's a little touched, and that
Just a
ain't
little
touched by
moody.
God either.
Yeah.
Ain't touched by an angel.
Just a little moody.
So,
Just,
yeah, you know.
that's the price of
no.
dealing with a black woman, man, right there.
So the next disorder I got up here is eating disorder, which come under mental health.
Now,
Eating disorder.
is the eating disorder eating too much too?
That is too. That's a disorder. Or
I
not
think a
eating
lot
enough,
of-
or you starving yourself.
I think a
or
lot
pica.
of
Anorexia.
Or
a
pica.
lot
Yeah.
of humans deal with overeating. Not just mental. It's not just one sided.
How do you know when you're overeating though?
All right, think about it this way: when you first broke up, how many times did you eat a day? Probably 5, 6.
Nah, I was drinking more than anything.
Well, yeah. Well, you stopped eating.
I ain't eat too. I cooked it.
And
Yeah.
that happens too. Emotional
Yeah,
drinking.
I
I
just
cooked
think
it, but I ain't eat it.
I think we overeat
emotional
like way
addiction.
too much.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's on the list. There's some more stuff on the list.
I think we
that.
overeat way too much. Like especially when you got heartbreak, and sometimes that's if you're not the type to drink or the type to smoke, or you don't want to go that route, you'll see them eating 5 meals and 12 wings.
I guess that's why they
and-
call it comfort food.
Yeah, they eat a lot of macaroni and cheese and stuff that you know what I mean. Feel like home.
I just when I'm going through that, I don't want to eat.
I'm the same way though, but I know a lot of people who are
But I guess that's
extra eaters. They
Yeah.
eat more.
or they
when
do
they
it,
stressing.
or they do it if they feel they're too fat. They stop eating.
Or yeah.
That is a form of a mental disorder.
Yeah.
Eating disorder is a form of mental illness. I mean, trauma-related disorders such as PSD, trauma.
Everybody in
Trauma-related
the
disorder.
neighborhood we live in has PTSD.
Now,
especially if you over 25.
I was gonna save that one for last because that would be my pinpoint. Like that's what I think. A lot of things that's happening in this hood
Yes.
come from in communities. People are coming from. It's come from trauma. Like because a lot of people are exposed to violence at a young age. So when they get upset and they don't know how to channel it and know how to deal with it, they automatically resort to violence.
Or not even just
Or if you
just being taken advantage of. Like I was in the store the other day, and this girl was looking at Habib. First off, she's at the corner store buying some open food. What type of service she thought she was gonna get, I did not know.
Get some,
So she looking at Habib. He has on gloves. He changed her money, but he also must have boxed up her hot dog or something like that. So I'm looking at her like she telling him, "Hey man, you need to change them gloves too, because you've been changing all these people's money." He like, "I didn't change gloves. I changed gloves." But I'm thinking in my head like, "Shorty, you must have been taken advantage of a lot for you to even think like in a corner store you gonna get A1 service. He's gonna change gloves. He gets 13 million dudes getting him 4 quarters a day. He gonna change gloves every 5 minutes for your chili dog.
yeah.
That ain't you
So
got.
that's some
they don't know how to
drama happen in the household, her relationship.
Yeah, like
or something.
she automatically. Everybody's always on
and
go.
everybody's against you.
Everybody's against you, and it's not really like that. That's why when you go to some white neighborhoods, they can take certain shit and just let it roll off their back because it's like they didn't dealt with it, or they'll call your manager. They'll wait till you get home and hit you on Yelp or something. When us black, I know from my neighborhood, the minute they feel like they wrong, they don't even know how to hit Yelp. They hitting you.
It ain't too much about it.
Too much. We're going to talk about it right now. You ain't going to get over on me.
And the crazy thing about it, reason why I touch on that joint so much, because trauma comes in all forms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that trauma ain't necessarily got to be physical. It could be mental. It could be something that you seen somebody else go through, or something that you just used to seeing occurrence. Like these kids these days, they come out of school and they got yellow tape every fucking where.
What you think they gonna learn when they grow up? That don't play with me.
Yeah,
this can happen.
This can happen. This is,
and it's not. I'm not gonna be the one behind the yellow tape.
Oh, they so accustomed to seeing it, it's just like the norm. That shouldn't be the norm to no 13, 14-year-old.
Yes,
it's not normal.
It's not normal.
So that's gonna play.
It's not normal to know someone who got killed.
Yeah,
that's not normal.
It's not
to know someone who got killed. And anybody who's listening to this actually knows someone who got killed, murdered.
That's trauma.
That's trauma.
Trauma.
That's not normal.
Everybody that grew up, I'm gonna say everybody. I ain't even go. I'm gonna go far back to when I was born in '83. You born in '83, you lost a close friend to you by something tragic.
Yes.
More than once.
Yes.
More than once.
And some people might have lost the person right in front of them.
Right in front of them.
So yeah.
So that's trauma to you, man.
Or a close family member.
Or a close family member that you sit there and watch them die some like crazy that's
I'm a firm believer in our generation has been affected more by the crack era than people want to admit, because it took mothers out the house, it took parents out the house, and it made a lot of people raise themselves. And in the midst of trauma, the worst thing you do is have kids trying to raise themselves.
They're gonna gravitate.
Now they're gonna gravitate towards what's hot, what's popping. And it even goes back to the day, like, you really not even popping if you're not doing what everybody else is doing.
Well, you become impressionable.
Yeah.
Because you have nobody that really have your best.
No foundation. No foundation.
They just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
You got your what you call it going on over there too.
What's that?
You is on your home improvement. Your Tim to Tim, you got the mic high and all your
exactly. That's I just tell you, no face. They thought they was gonna get me. No, it's not happening.
This guy's slick. This guy,
I know what the hell wet road, boy. Come on, now you thought I was supposed to bring my face out
on a wet road. You see this?
Hey man, I'm here though.
You see this?
They see me.
But yeah, go ahead, Carl. You on with WHL?
Man, what y'all talking about, man?
Oh, what's up, Ray? You all right now? You got the phone covered up?
Please put a phone cover on that, man. We don't want none of that to spread through the airways, man.
I'm up in here. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Oh, all right. What you got to say?
Locked up, won't let me out.
They got me locked up, they won't let me out.
Oh, we got to change it. Quarantine won't let me out.
What you think about this, though, man? What research you got for me over there?
Huh?
What research you got for me over there on this subject, man?
Hey, man, what that shit? I gotta get my laptop. Hold on 1 second. It's in my daggone, it's in my messenger bag. Hold on. I had looked at some stuff, man, as far as getting, getting people help. You know what I'm saying? In that field, man. That's why I wish I was there, man, because that mental health, man, that shit in the black community, that shit real heavy.
It runs deep.
I just heard when y'all was talking about, as far as who it weighs on, but a lot of people don't realize, man, for women, man, women suffer that shit bad, man, because not only after birth, but just with their bodies, what they go through. You know what I'm saying? As far as even just their health. They go through a lot with their body changing and all that, so that shit weigh a lot on a woman's brain. Not to mention, again, going through birth and after birth and
so
that shit real, man.
So that's why I say they would suffer that anxiety thing.
They don't. I don't see them suffering anxiety.
Because you got to think
now
about
PTSD. Yes, the moodiness. Yes.
Yeah, but that's all up under that same mental health umbrella. That affects their mental. That shit, man, that PTSD with far as women.
Yeah.
That shit, why you and for a lot of cases when these women be out, when you hear about women out here abusing their kids and killing their kids, that shit's up in the PTSD, whereas though it fucks their mental, whereas though they just spaz the fuck out. They like they don't know what the hell they doing.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fit it into the categories of each disorder. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what disorder is which one. You know what I mean? Like since you say PTSD, so yeah, that's the trauma disorder.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can't see anxiety in women. Women are too. They're
not gonna show it.
They are too sure of what they want.
Nah, women go through anxiety.
I got you.
I can't say
go
that.
That's postpartum. That's postpartum is depression. But while they pregnant, they got anxiety. When they pregnant, they have anxiety about the baby in their stomach.
Right, especially if it's somebody that's lost child.
During that time,
even after that, because they got anxiety about how that kid's going to flourish in the community. Like, period.
I give you that with the kids.
If he's a young black man,
yeah, because you got to think.
Yes.
A female is a nurturer, and they want whatever they nurture to bloom to the greatest potential.
I give you that.
So with that it comes anxiety. You don't know. It's the unknown.
Now with the kids, yes, I can see women being having a lot of anxiety, being very anxious about things.
Yeah. So,
but everything else, you can't
say in a relationship. We already know they the coolest things.
They the coolest things, like because they have most of the control.
Yeah.
They got most of the control.
So you got to realize in our community, like when I was on some of the research I did, I highlighted something of it. One of the sentences it said African Americans sometimes experience more severe forms of mental health conditions due to unmet needs and other barriers. According to the Health and Human Services of Minority Health, African Americans are 10% more likely to experience serious psychological distress. You see what I'm saying? So, and like what Mo was saying, like what Bob was saying, I forgot the question you asked, which one would it affect them the most? And he was like, both. I was typing it in, so when you go and see it, and I was like, yeah, both. Because that shit, man, that shit there, again, man, people don't, like, it goes back to the slavery days and shit, you know what I'm saying? That shit, even with our ancestors, and even with us, it fucks with our mental to this day. You know what I'm saying? So people like, man, certain people got mental problems. No, I think everybody has some form of a slight little, some little mental problem. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but we all got our little fucked up ways. You know what I'm saying? Thinking like, man, this shit ain't right, and it may not be negative. It may not be violent. It may just be
the way you
I'm going to tell you
coming up, being raised.
I'm going to tell you where this comes from. All right, so I'm going to give you the scientific research behind this, and this I was waiting for you guys to kind of put out the information so I could kind of tell you what I've already learned. All right. So there's no such thing as mental health necessarily at birth. Those particular conditions that you see, like schizophrenia, things of that nature, like mental retardation, things like that, are very rare. All right, there is a known scientific term called epigenetics, or what they call epi conditioning or environmental conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So epi means on top of. So what happens is most people are born with most normal mental development, but something on top of that development changes the chemistry that changes the brain. So, for instance, there's a child psychiatrist that talks about all the time that there's two things that are needed for a proper child development, or there's two things that should happen for a child's development. So one is what should happen and what should not have happened. So, for instance, perfect example, in the black community, Ebony Magazine reported that more than 80% of black girls within our community are sexually abused by a family member. That's something that shouldn't happen.
Right.
So that changes the mental development of a child. That child now becomes scarred for life.
Absolutely.
Right, and deals with issues. Then there's the condition of what should have happened. So you're not giving your child love. You see women all the time sit there. They'll tell the boys, right, no attention. They'll tell the boys, you just like your father. Right. I can't stand you. You know what I mean? And and not showing that love. So that development kicks off an epigenetic development or an epigenetic condition within that child, and that child's brain starts to wire differently. It starts to become detached. It doesn't know emotion like a regular child would know emotion. So most of the conditions that you're reading on that sheet are epi conditions or epigenetic, meaning that something happened to change the genetics
is that
of
why
somebody.
most men don't know emotion? Because I know every guy that I grew up around, every man I know in here done heard that.
Right.
Why is you crying like a little girl?
Right.
We
Don't pick the child up.
emotions.
Don't pick the child up. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
There's a scientific research that was done where you had a child that was born with normal eyesight. You take that child and you put that child in a room for 5 months with no lights on. That child becomes blind because what happens is the synapses, it never develops because it needs that stimulus. It needs that stimulus in order to develop that part of the brain. So if you never love a child, you never hold a child, you never pick up a child when a child's in need and it's urging, and it's crying, you don't never soothe that child never gets wired up for those type of emotions. So then that child grows up to be detached.
It's more like
emotional trauma.
What Ray was saying, because of our history, the way we was taught and the way we was raised coming over here, by us being slaves, we was taught not to love the boy because he might get taken away.
Of course.
We was taught to tell the girl to be more tough and take care of the home and take care of your brothers and stuff like that. That has built up this callous to people. To where neither side
they call it the post traumatic slave syndrome,
or be emotional to each other.
Man, I mean, you had it where master would come out and say, "Man, that's a bright young man right there," and the mama would say, "No, he's not. He's dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
He's retarded.
Yeah.
He don't listen. He can't read. He can't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?" So
I actually had to tell my kids it's good to be smart because
of course,
for me growing up, I always was told you too smart.
Man.
And sometimes if you tell a kid that amongst kids who ain't as smart, it makes them feel like they gotta
lower themselves down to them.
Dumb stuff down.
But we do things that again are epi-developmental type of tactics that unfortunately stunts our children, and in some cases traumatizes our children, and then they end up with these conditions like PTSD or ADHD, things of that nature. But technically, that's not normal development.
It's not, but it's there. Like, so I got a question. The last disorder that I have on this mental health list is substance abuse.
Wow.
Is who?
Substance abuse. How
about it, man? Look at here. Shit, that's a whole dictionary. Opioids and cocaine and heroin.
Let's start the basic. Let's start the basic alcohol.
Okay.
Is that something that you could be branded by watching when you was a kid? Remember, you growing up, you see your mother and them drinking beers, having fun, enjoying themselves, and as you see that as you go up the whole time you're growing up, you think that's something. You think that's branded into your brain?
Put that in the same thing.
What you call it?
Epi.
It's same thing, epi. So it goes deeper than that. It's an epi because like my moms used to tell me all the time, son, you got to watch out because you have a predisposition nature to be an alcoholic. The reason why was because at the fetus level, when I was in my mom's womb, my father was an alcoholic who used to have battles with my mom's because he's drunk. That creates cortisol in the woman, cortisol in the man. Cortisol is that depression hormone inside your body. When you feel sad, that's cortisol rolling through your body. So your body becomes, the child, the fetus becomes adapted to that. And now you've been conditioned and changed because of stress. Stress produces cortisol. Cortisol changes the development of that child. So now I'm more prone to being a child of alcoholism.
Gotcha.
Because my parents were in that stressful environment. So it was that epi-conditioning or that epigenetics that kicked in that changed me. I'll give you one more. In Poland, they used to go to Poland during World War II. The Nazis used to go and used to steal all the crops away from the Polish people to feed the army. They were women that were pregnant at the time. and they were starving. They were starving so bad that they looked like, after, you know how you see the world hunger commercials
still got
with
a
the
bloated
African
stomach.
bloated stomach, and they're pregnant. Well, what happened was they found out that later on, those children, as they grew older, the war's over now, that they all became obese, and they couldn't figure out why were they obese, especially when they were born basically skinny, you know, and born malnutrition from the beginning. What it was that epigenetics that kicked in. The body was thinking that, well, any nutrient that comes in, I got to store it. I got to hold on to it because I was always starving at birth. So that's an epiconditioning.
That goes to what
Right.
I believe.
Right.
This is why I believe everyone is a single individual, no matter if you had the same parents or not.
Right.
This is why I believe
Right.
that. Because each person is literally, to me, depending on how you was born.
Right.
If you were born in love, you're the, like,
Right.
you, for instance, you was the love baby.
Right.
You feel what I'm
They
saying?
was married when they had
That they
babies.
was
Right.
married,
If your mama
they was
sang
happy.
to you while you were in the womb,
They was nice to have.
ate good,
Yeah.
took vitamins.
Yeah.
Who was
Right.
born in
Right.
like as the mother was birthed, when she gave conception to
Right.
you,
Right.
it was bullshit from the door.
Right,
So
right,
you always
right. She didn't
confused.
stand. She couldn't stand you.
She couldn't-
She didn't want to be pregnant.
She
She,
never-
didn't eat right.
That breeds that
she
hate.
smoked.
So that
she
in
drank.
turns
You know what I
makes
mean?
you who you are as a person.
Yeah.
That's that abuse.
in the
Yeah,
world.
that
And-
abuse,
and it
right.
gives you your role in life, because
Of course.
their role
Of course.
early in life.
And then you wonder why Lil Pookie and Lil Peanut the way that they are, because father was a dope fiend, mama
or
was a
dope
pothead. You know
Or
what I
a
mean?
dope dealer, and she
A
was
dope
the-
she was
dealer.
the- she was the
Right.
trap house.
Right, trap house. She was
And
stressed.
Yeah.
She's
He fucking
stressed.
with multiple women.
All
You know
on
what I
the
mean?
same
All
block.
that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And that's all. And that's
Then you wonder why
transparent
Lil
energy.
Pookie come out, you know,
Yeah.
all fucked up in the head
So
because
basically, to get down to the meat and potatoes of, of the whole situation we got going on
It's
in the realm
deep.
period, motherfuckers need to go to psychiatrists, man. Go see a therapist.
oh yeah,
man.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
It don't help to go see a
Oh, yeah.
therapist, man. Go talk
Oh,
to
yeah.
somebody that's gonna talk to you that don't love you.
What
But
what
that's
what?
ain't that what
Yeah.
psychiatrists
Yeah.
say? They say most of your issues and problems stem around your parents,
Yeah.
and it's not
Yeah.
nothing that
Yeah.
your parents like technically might have did
This
to
is
you.
that is
Yeah.
is
It's
that
just
the
that-
point?
That you didn't see,
when
consciously
you
see.
were born in,
Yeah.
in that time frame.
Yeah.
Like my oldest daughter is different than my youngest son today.
Yeah.
My youngest son has a lot of energy because when he was born, I was working. Everything was energy. His mother was working. He was welcome.
Right,
But
right.
we was at high peak.
Right, he
on
was busy.
working.
Right,
Everybody
right,
was
right.
busy.
Surviving.
So he stays.
Right.
He gets up at 5 in the morning every morning.
Right. His metabolism, his whole
No,
body is
his
different.
whole
I ain't
body-
Right,
never-
his whole body is
I
different.
never even dialed back and look that deep.
I always
into-
did.
It is. I'm telling you.
'cause I used to-
I've just found this out recently
I used to go
about
off
epigenetics.
of what you install once they hit. I never thought about when they not here.
No,
Nah.
it's
You know what I
during
mean?
Starts in the
pregnancy.
womb.
Because it's what you
Starts
putting
in
in
the
the
womb.
mother
Yeah.
and how the father feel
Yeah,
about
the
the kid.
emotional state of the mother
How
from
the
the
father
beginning.
feel, because if the father feel
Yeah,
right
yeah.
about the kid,
Energy
he's going to
transfer-
keep making
Yeah.
sure the
Energy
mother's
transfer is
okay.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
man.
And
Yeah.
then the
real
mother
shit.
going to make sure the baby's okay.
Yeah.
You produce proteins and hormones that are not necessarily, good for the development of a fetus.
Yeah.
When you emotionally stressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you going through trauma, when you being beaten,
Yeah.
while you pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These
They
things.
say that there's some neurological cells that goes off or something in your
Yes.
brain when certain
Yes.
things happen.
Your
that it just-
genetics actually change. Like this. I'm gonna give you some stuff to look at, and we're gonna
Yeah.
come back and do a part 2 to this.
Yeah, because I want
But-
the psychiatrist lady to come in too, but
Right.
she must be shut
But
down.
but
And I
but,
would love
but,
to-
but there's
man, I
there's a
definitely
medical.
I want to touch on this again for sure.
There is a medical condition that happens. So your genes, so all genes are dynamic. So even like with this corona thing, like this is corona strain number 19. That's because
Yeah.
its DNA has altered and changed based on its environment every time. Whether it lived in a bat, whether it lived in whatever, when it lived in humans, each time it changed. It changed based on its environment. Well, our genetics change the same way.
Same way.
Our genetics will twist and turn. Like I told you
kinda
with the
proved my
Polish
point.
children,
Yeah.
their genetics changed because normally they would have came out with a normal metabolism.
Right.
But their metabolism changed because of they were being starved. So the genes had to figure out a way to survive. So the genes rewired the body so that when they came out, every time they would eat something, the genes would say, "Oh no, we got to store this because I don't know when we gonna eat again." You know what I mean?
So,
And
so we
changed
talk
the-
about solutions a lot.
Yeah, it's deep, man.
Let me
What
get
do
a
you
number out
think
again,
the
man.
solution is?
Give me a holler, man. 410-632-6300. I know you still there, Ray.
Yeah.
I know you still there.
Ray, I think I could be able to hold you.
I'm gonna get off here.
No, I think I can hold you, though.
You ain't holding up the line, though.
I see you on the line.
Now I can hold you. I think I could conference. So if somebody calls, I can conference you in.
Yeah, that number is 410-632-6300. You got anything
Yeah, don't
to
go
say
nowhere
about-
because you said you had, the treatments and things like that, or
Yeah. So what's
know,
the
the
solution?
solutions to these.
What is this? I think the biggest solution is what I was telling you when I first met Mr. George. People now talk more.
yeah,
So the more you talk,
Yeah.
the more you
You
communicate.
gotta talk.
And to me, I think more of the women need to get in touch with more of the older women, just like more of the men need to get in touch with more of the older men.
Yeah.
And then you can figure out where things went wrong
Where the disconnect
or
was at.
where the disconnect was at. Not if it went wrong, because nothing went wrong.
Yeah, just a disconnect.
It's always just a disconnect.
Right.
And if you find out what it is, you can talk your next generation through it. That's
Right.
my
Yeah.
personal
What's great
opinion.
is the brain is dynamic. There's a plasticity to the brain. So it's just like when somebody has a stroke. When somebody has a stroke, there may be one part of the brain that gets damaged in reference to the stroke. But then through therapy, through physical therapy, through mental therapy, you can actually rewire the brain so that other parts of the brain compensates for whatever the deficiency is. It's the same thing in mental health. When you're traumatized and you go through that trauma, you can work on that brain to get that brain to correct some of those thoughts. They may not necessarily always go away, but you can condition yourself so that you strengthen your mental health.
Yeah, because the brain that got you here is in the mess that you in, or whatever mess that you might not think you in, is not going to be the same brain that's
Nah.
going to get you
Nah.
out.
Well,
so to change the brain, you definitely need
You got to work with somebody that's
you
a
gotta work with
professional.
somebody that's professional first.
Yeah.
And then you have to
Yeah.
contact some of the
Well,
people around you.
to be honest
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I could say that can happen, or you can have a life changing event to make you alter your whole way of thinking. Period.
That too.
Sometimes,
But that's
yeah.
the
I'm a
rough way.
prime example.
I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm
who
gonna
wants
tell
to go
you,
through the
Yeah.
rough
You-
way
you-
all the
you
time.
can- I mean,
Going,
some people,
going to the joint and
some people that's
Yeah.
that's
Right.
that's the only
You know
way
what I mean?
you
Yeah.
gonna
It's like I used to
Yeah.
always tell you, you're going to find out who you is. Either you're going to sit down in the hospital,
yeah,
or you're going to have to sit down in
Yeah.
jail,
yeah.
or you're going to have to sit
Yeah.
down
we
in
talked
your
about that
house
for like
by yourself.
4 episodes ago, 5
And
episodes ago.
this is
Yeah.
real, because it's real. That's the
Yeah.
only way you're going to find out who you is.
But
Yeah.
And it's going to make you ask more questions, because you're going to notice your own attitude. You can't have an attitude with yourself.
Some people change through faith. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they
some
find
people
God,
change through faith.
Allah, Buddha.
yeah,
You know,
And
I just had
Yahweh.
I just had a mental
This right
reset.
here, this quarantine shit, this is a form of a mental thing. Whereas though you can really sit with yourself, and I think this is.
I think it's
this
kind of
could be
harder like
good
this.
this could be good for people, man. 'cause
I think
they
it's
have
harder.
that mental whereas though it's like a reset.
I
You know
think it's
what I'm saying?
harder,
Like
though.
some people
to
can go
sit
through
with
I
yourself
think I think it's
and
harder.
yourself
Reason why?
reflecting your body, your
I think
soul,
it's
your
harder
mind.
because you got the
You know what I'm
unknown
saying?
out there because you don't know why the fuck you sitting.
Right,
Because
right.
I see a lot of people. I've seen a lot of posts lately, whereas people actually are okay with being inside. People are, hey, you know what?
For now,
It's a fucking.
So they get
situation.
stressed.
listen.
I'm
Hey, Ray,
Right.
that's because you got they got
I
the
ain't not
option.
drinking, I ain't not
They,
doing that.
hey, Ray, they
Right.
still have.
That's a form of mental stability also.
Listen,
Right.
they still have the option to get the hell out the house.
It's when
Right.
they don't have
It's
the
when you
option.
don't have the option to get out there, and you don't know why, and they ain't telling you the full story. And I don't think that's going to be too helpful.
And there's some people that are stressed right now because
What?
they've been with them kids for a whole week.
What?
And
Like,
they never ever
Exactly.
sat with their kids.
right,
I'm telling
right.
you,
And they ain't
that's
never been with their
what-
kids
They
that
never
long.
sat with their.
Right.
There's some people in
Right.
the house.
They ain't
right
never been with
now
their kids that long.
Never,
Right.
and they be honest with themselves.
You already know. You already know
Never
half
really
these
sat with
motherfucking
their
young
kids,
parents out
man.
here probably cussing their daggone kids out
Yes,
right
so
now.
is.
Sit y'all motherfucking lands down. And guess what? When they get 17, 18 years old, that's when they start hitting on these young girls and lashing out and doing all that silly shit.
Right.
That shit, man, that shit trickle down, man.
And let the weed man get quarantined, boy.
Right.
Tell you, boy. Let the weed man get
Hey,
quarantined.
hey,
That
hey.
boy just twitched right now.
Hey,
man.
a lot of them,
Head twitching.
a lot of them charges they telling people they ain't charge you for is gonna go into effect right then and there. That burglary,
Hell yeah.
that prostitution, that all that stuff. That
No, that
non-violence
shit,
crime will
that
happen
shit, that
that
shit
week.
instantly fuck with their mental. As soon as they, you looking at 25 years, the whole mental is, oh fuck.
So,
they just go to this little shutdown stage or this inclusion stage. Like, man, they just know this shit over with. And like you said, it even if they sitting down during that time, they get institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? It's weighing on their brains, Like Jay said, that what's the name effect? What he just called it. That what you call it, Jay?
Epiconditioning or epigenetics.
Yeah, the epi effect, man. It fucks with the man's brain.
So,
you know Miss
Kim,
like these ex-cons, man, they have it bad too. Especially these ones who be getting who be in that zone for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look at the last few cases of the men.
Oh yeah, they got out for 30 years.
That's
30 years.
That's a trauma.
That is
a trauma. That's a trauma. That is related disorder.
But I personally know a lot of ex-convicts. We know convicts.
Yeah, I know a lot of them.
And a lot of them are a lot more calmer.
Yeah.
They're a lot more respectful.
Well, they become institutionalized. There's a difference.
Because you got to respect that man as a child.
They ain't got no choice but to be calm.
Right.
They learn respect.
They not out there to be.
And a lot of people learn them.
And they learn themselves.
I was too loud back there. That's why I got locked up.
They got to calm that shit down.
I was too loud. That's why yo smacked me in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Right.
I was too loud. That's why I wound up washing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna learn who you is in there because it's the same energy coming at you.
Right.
So it's a lot of convicts who I know who came home and actually tried to change. The problem be they dealing with the epi. They dealing with all the extra stuff. Like Wallow says it's the best.
On top of,
everybody got a plan until you come home, and it's easier to do what you once did.
Right.
Now, if you come home and you got the right circle around you, everything you learned in there will just build. Yeah, and you can build on it. Right. But if you come home and it's still the same epi effects there, it's still the same mother there who's still gonna bitch at you for not giving her $5, and you know what she doing with her, it's the baby mother.
Now you got other effects on top. Your probation officer,
and you're smarter with it.
Right.
You're smarter with it, so that's when it becomes a more dangerous criminal to me.
So,
I think the solution is, man, with our culture nowadays, man, it's always good because my lady Ronnie, she goes to therapy on Tuesdays and shit. And sometimes some therapy sessions needed, man. I know a lot of people who do it now, like for real, man. And it's always good to talk to your family and friends, but sometimes, man, it's good to have that total stranger.
You need a total stranger.
The only bad thing is
they can pick you out. They can pick your brain out. You know what I'm saying, and let you know they're real. Because nobody don't know you but you. But nobody can't call you out on your bullshit but a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I know shit about you. You know shit about you. But yeah, that's not fair. Let a person that don't figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? Professionals, but. And a lot of blacks, man, they feel like they're scared to do it and don't have the resources to do it.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. In our community, mental health is a stigma.
Yes.
So we look at it as
a stigma.
As you know, it's a defect. You're weak, right?
You're weak,
right? You know,
so you don't talk
right.
You can't like going back to what we said earlier. Teaching that boy to shut up and man up.
Right.
And the girl to shut up and
stop being a sissy. You know what I mean? Stop being a punk.
So that's I'm glad you said, because I'm going to tell you this comment I've been trying to get in. Miss Kim McCown said a lot of stuff that we do all come from learned behaviors, generational curses, and mental illnesses, which all can be corrected once we learn why we operate the way we do, and if we see that it's fit to change.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, and that's the biggest part what she said at the end. You gotta want to change. That's just with anything.
You gotta want to change.
You gotta want to change. Even if you can hear this message a million times,
it gotta hear you.
But if you go home and as soon as the first stress comes, you go back to your old ways, then you didn't really.
I got these cards that I give out in the community. I try to help young men get into programs. There's plenty of programs, job opportunities, things of that nature. On my card, it says, "Are you ready for change?" Because it's not me coming to you and saying, "Hey, I got the change for you."
Yeah.
No. You know, you ain't gonna jump into it unless you ready.
Unless you really want to. You gotta come out of you, man. It gotta. The verse is wasting people's time.
Basically,
wasting people's time. Don't waste nobody's time.
Well, you waste your own time.
Well, I guess.
Because that's just like when you used to go to school. we always heard the same messages. We always got the right messages.
Yeah.
But it didn't come. You didn't think about it. It didn't sink in until you was ready to hear it. Like, and you could. It could have been a message from 30
until you
years
wanted to
ago.
hear it. Until you wanted to make that change.
That happens with many lessons in life.
You know,
you get jammed up. You be like, my mom used to say.
She used to say, "Don't do that," and now I really
now
get
I'm
it.
jammed up.
I was meaning to tell you, yeah, kid, you got call in, kid. If you can't call in, we're gonna change some information. We're gonna change some information. She said she teach men for free. She teach class for men for free. So
that's what's
now,
up.
that's a great
question.
That is a great question. Do you think that a woman would be able to break that out of a man quicker than a man?
Yeah.
I think a woman
Hell
could.
yeah.
Because that's when
you're
your most vulnerable around
they
women.
They do it to us in their relationships. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm a proven fact.
That's shit. Absolutely.
It's easier. Like
of course, you had a father figure around, but the person you look up to the most is the ones who get that change out of you. To me, it's I don't give a fuck if it's man, woman, child, dog, cat, bird.
Right, because some people have aunties, somebody has a grandmother.
Somebody that you gravitate to,
be an uncle.
That's a person that can get you
to me, it's always been the woman. This is why I say that. Just like
put it like this, the women has always held down our community.
Yes.
That's that's an unfortunate effect.
Just like in the animal kingdom, who gets the food?
Most of the time, it's the female, like the female lion.
The female is getting the food.
Right. The female leopard.
The female is doing the nourishing.
Right.
The female is one who raises it. I know females got a lot on their back.
I'm great.
They got a lot on their back, but that's why they got. This is why they get to have Mother's Day and get all the presents.
I'm going to tell you the reason.
They get the bulk of the.
And fathers get a tie on Father's Day.
Yeah, because all you doing is sitting in the corner and you make sure we safe.
So Kid Gray get the reason why that a woman can teach a man. She ready to tell you why. She said, yeah, because it's not expected for us to break a man, and I'm not going to break them. I'm going to show them everything that they already have and how to use it.
Exactly.
So
don't
women
break
are
them. Help them.
They great for that.
That's the difference.
They're great
That's the difference.
They have a lot on their back.
You can't break oneself. Help that oneself.
That comes with the nurturing too.
And that's why, as a man, you can take the moodiness from a woman and not a man.
Yeah, because you're like, dude, what's
if a dude get moody around you, like this guy about to get really.
But because so many men are raised by women. A lot of times, you got to admit, dudes act like bitches sometimes.
Yeah.
And I hate to use the B word,
but that's because
they have those emotional responses. Right. They have those.
That's not to say all women going to be the greatest of women.
But no, it's up to you. It's up to you to get older as a man and realize what
your mother will have faults
what
and
traits
all
you
that.
take from your mother, and what traits you take as a man. Because you gotta know your masculinity.
Right. A man is supposed to teach you masculinity.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in some cases, that's why I say a lot of folks mess up at when we beef in the community. Because a lot of times we beef as women. We don't beef. We don't beef as men.
Make it come straight to your face. Right. Deal with the situation. Right. We can say I'm beefing. Right. I'm catching behind his back.
Right.
Man can say, boy, what's the problem? What we got going on?
Right.
What's going on?
Right. A man of debate,
articulate
without emotion.
Without emotions.
Right. Without emotion. Right.
Without emotion.
So that goes to show you who's been raising a lot of these dudes out here these days.
I mean, right. And that's sometimes the problem because again, you get them feminine tendencies.
Yeah, that's just because they don't have the balance.
Yeah,
because if you don't have it, that's what you say. Yeah. Our community is kind of more messed up because the balance is off.
Yeah, the balance is off. Because there should be a certain percentage men, certain percentage
all
women.
Of that same energy can come from your mother.
But I still think,
but if you have a father there, you know what the father do? Yo, you know your mother kind of crazy, but you better listen to her first.
And it's the same for females
and
too,
second,
because there's certain things. There's certain same for females because there's certain things that men are supposed to do or prepare their female child for, so that they know that there are predators out here,
right?
So they know there's people out here.
But they don't know that because all they see is their mother's side,
right? Correct.
And mama's single,
right? And mama's a little loose.
Mama got the rose-colored glasses on.
You can't really blame mama for being single,
right?
Because she still has to be able to, she still has to be happy in raising you.
Of course.
So she has to get some type of happiness because being a mother or being a parent.
But I'm still a firm believer, yo. I still like because like in 93, 94, I say 98, you always had that one or two men or a group of old men in your neighborhood that you can go to.
Well,
they give
we
you the-
supposed to have been them.
that's what I'm saying. But listen, you got guys in there you can go to for that advice, or they gonna tell you, boy, you fucking up. Fuck is you doing? Or boy, you need talk to that lady like that. Or boy, treat the woman with respect. Or boy, open that door for that woman. Like we don't have because we missed that.
And because, like I was saying earlier,
we backed off of them.
crack took away so much from people.
Right.
That
And even dope.
the
You gotta go back
manhood
further
away.
because
Yeah.
we had a dope era in the '70s. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But it
Like
wasn't
we keep
you
forgetting
still-
that.
But y'all
that
still
dope
had y'all
You
still had those
mothers in the house.
and they still had those guys that can be
Yeah,
like
but
a
that
influence.
was kind of the launch of the destruction. That dope coming in our
But
community
see, you
back
know,
in the '70s.
you know why that is lacking right now, Eddie?
Why you
Because
say that?
what Maul touched on earlier, as far as the upbringing of the homes. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't if a lot of these youngers ain't got them men in their households teaching them to do that or showing them to do that or they're not seeing them doing
Right.
that.
But
Yeah,
you don't
'cause, like,
necessarily,
they're never
you don't
gonna-
necessarily, it don't necessarily have to be the dude in that household.
No, it could be
No,
an uncle, it could be a friend.
Let me finish.
Could be a
I was
stepfather.
about
I would say it could be that neighbor.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can have women do that and teach them that, but it's like you were. I mean that and that's fine and dandy for a woman to do, but I say all that to say I think that's one of the other reasons why that a lot of men, you know what I'm saying, don't do that. Don't show that chivalry. Don't show that.
It's like
when
that.
it comes
It's
to
like
dating a
dude
woman,
told us
because
the
that
other
shit
time.
all
What's
trickle down back to
delegate
their
guy
mental.
name?
They wouldn't. Not saying that they wasn't programmed, but they didn't see that coming up, so they didn't know how to do it going forward.
Yeah, it's like what Chris told us. Men are not supposed to say what they gonna do.
Oh, the guy running for city council.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Christopher
yeah,
Irvin.
Yeah.
And the more
Exactly.
you do it, the more you're gonna show you a man.
Nobody,
So
you
it's
should
just like-
you should want to
like you
open that door
said,
for that woman.
the dude
You know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
block,
You
he
should
might
want to
not
walk
never
walk on the outside of the sidewalk and like the lady walking on the inside of the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? I be doing that to my lady to this day, and every running looking like, what are you doing? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Just walk your ass on the inside of me.
Because you could have watched that
Right.
from another dude on the. He never had to tell you nothing.
Right.
He
You
never
just
had
just
to
watch what he
but
did.
you watched him.
You watch what he did.
And by you watching him,
Exactly.
you saw what a man's supposed to do rather than what a man's not supposed to do.
Right.
And sometimes that's been taken. A lot of us that's been taken away. So it's like we only was taught the raw stupid stuff.
That's all facts for mental health. You know, all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it
mental
is.
health.
It is.
Yeah,
All that shit is
isolated,
mental health. That shit, all of it is
damage,
mental health, my brother. All of it.
Anxiety.
As far as the '90s, it's definitely the substance abuse thing.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It took.
yeah.
It literally
Yeah.
took.
And see, the
people
reason why I
away.
keep saying the '70s is because the '70s also brought out when we were on social service and we were living in public housing.
Yes.
Oh, so that's when
You
you
know,
do
that
that.
was
wasn't
separation
part
of the
downfall.
man.
You are correct.
Right.
Because
And-
before the
and
70s,
like you said,
there was
Right.
black
a lot of vets
Right,
There
came
was
right,
a lot of
home.
right.
black-owned
After
businesses. There was a
Vietnam,
lot of
you know what
black
I'm
men
saying?
who
You know,
ran
we know their mental
farms,
was fucked up.
and they
Right.
was happy with being the guy with the overalls. It was when it
You
was
had more
glamorized.
two parent households.
But
They
they
may have
also
been broke.
It was also
Yep.
said back then in order to get those assistants, the man can't be in the house too, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah,
on
that was
Yeah.
a separation.
Yeah, that's more
Right.
conspiracy theory thing.
I'm talking-
No,
I'm
that
talking-
happened.
I'm talking-
That happened.
That
That
happened. Yeah, that
that
happened.
also that ain't no conspiracy. That plays
That
part
plays
of
a
mental
part.
health.
That plays a
Because
part.
Your mother is getting these benefits from the government. In order for them to get those,
But
you can't
but
be
you
you
can't
can't be
be
in the
there.
household.
But
and y'all had a perfect relationship.
Right.
That ain't always.
Which meant
that's
that
why I say
Papa was a Rolling Stone, you know.
You
This
gotta
why I
get
say-
wrong. What else you gonna
Right,
do? You can't
right.
stay here.
This
You
is
got
why I say
multiple households.
conspiracy
Right,
theory.
right.
It's still going on now, and to me personally, I see more black men actually trying to be in the house. So
Right.
it's not like it's something that's
Right, but that
been a
conditioning
deterrent.
is that conditioning has been put in there.
It's already there
You know what I mean?
from back then.
Right,
But
right,
I
right.
can't-
Generational.
That's still a trauma.
right,
I
right.
think it's a trauma, but I don't think it's been like the biggest crutch on why things are the way they
No,
are.
I'm not saying that's a big
But
crutch,
some
it
things
plays a
happen
part.
generationally that get passed down.
That-
You never see your father in your household, so when you raise your child,
It's
you
like
think
it's
it's
normal.
okay, right? That a father don't have to be in the household.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I've even seen houses that have had, I think it was 3 generations of women in one house.
Yes.
And
I've
the
seen
women
that.
and the women will say your father ain't shit. He ain't he. He ain't never meant to be shit. And then the daughter is the same way. My baby daddy ain't shit.
Yeah.
My baby, right? And it
That's
keeps
what
going.
raise.
And then she raises her child, and her child says, "Well, I don't need no man because my mama says he ain't shit.
And she
My
made-
grandmother,
well,
my
we
grandmother
raised us.
says my grandfather ain't shit.
Definitely
You know
thought
what I mean?
not having a father in the house was normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
In my generation,
Of course.
out of all of my homeboys, none of them had their father. None
Right.
of them had
Right.
their
What you call it?
biological
Right.
father.
Call it- Mikey had his biological
Right.
father in the house.
So you may not necessarily do
But he
it.
wasn't.
Come
Right.
on,
But
man.
you may not necessarily do it consciously, but you do it kind of subconsciously because you never had that. You know what I mean? Like
You
if
don't even know what they look like.
Right. Whatever your image is like, or whatever your life is painted as, is kind of how you go down the road. So
Right.
like for instance, we broke the generational curse with my son. So my son's with his high school sweetheart, 2 grandbabies. They're married. They live in the same household. But that's because we broke the generational curse.
Right.
Because y'all actually let them see
Our
both.
parents that brought us up. I was raised in a single parent household.
Right.
My wife was raised in a single parent household.
Right.
You know what I mean? So technically, if we didn't break that curse, our generation going forward
would the
would have
same
did the
way.
same
My
thing. But my
family's
son has
kinda
different
different.
principles now.
My family is kind of different.
Right.
Our family grew up. My mother's side had the mother and father there.
Mm-hmm.
My father's side had the mother and father there.
Okay.
It's just that our parents didn't work,
Yeah.
which in
Right.
turn, you know what I mean? That's what we saw. That's why now I can see myself as being a good father because I've seen both sides.
Right.
And I kind of understood both sides.
Right,
They were both
right.
still young when they got together.
Right,
You see
right.
what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all about, like I said, I'm different because of when I was born, I think they were still in school. So my mother's kind of smart, my father's kind of smart.
Right. What about you, Ray?
Well, I can't hear you. What do you say?
What about you as far as your household? Like, what did you
What about?
witness as far as was you?
Was
you
your
two-parent
mother and
household?
father in the
Right,
house? Or?
right. Was you a generation of single parent household?
Single-parent household. My mom and dad, they ain't really do a lot of arguing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I never
when
see
they
my
do
mother and
argue,
father
They
argue.
argue behind closed doors.
The major part was that you seen both of them together in the same household.
My father cussed my mother out sometimes. My mother cussed my father out sometimes before.
I never
You know what I'm
ever in
saying?
my life seen my mother
But
cuss my father
that
out.
definitely instilled in me because me and my daughter's mom, because we rarely argue. You know what I'm saying? For two, if we do have a disagreement, I call her. Whereas, you know what I'm saying, we ain't got to worry about it being in front of Madison.
Which is
You know,
crazy because
so
that's exactly how I wonder why I don't argue with my wife at all. Like ever. Like not really argue.
No need.
Because I never seen my mother argue with none of her boyfriends,
No need.
nor my father. And I never seen my father argue
No need.
with none of his wives,
No need.
nor my mother, ever.
No need.
Never ever seen
No need.
them have like a conflict where it was in front of us, they yelling, you ain't shit, you ain't
Right,
shit.
right,
Both
right,
sides
right,
always let
right.
us like,
Which that's common now.
yeah.
That's very
No
common.
need.
Yeah.
You got time for it.
Yeah.
And that's needed,
So
man,
we
because
I don't ever really argue.
you don't.
But
The last thing you want to see is because a lot of these young parents, man, these young parents, they even if they're not with the father, and unfortunately that's most cases nowadays. But you see these girls, oh nigga, you need to come get her. Whole time the kid right there wayside is looking up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just looking at
great.
that shit, just
Yeah.
soaking that shit in. You feel me? So and again, like I said earlier, when they get 16, 17 years old, they on the train or in the car. Nigga, you ain't shit.
Yeah, they think that's normal.
Where the fuck you think she got that shit from?
Yeah, they think that's normal.
That's a good way to close. That's a good way to close it out because my closing statement was going to be to stop what we got going on now. You know, practice good ethics at home.
Yes.
Cause what you do,
that family,
even the kids don't see it.
Love, man.
They can feel it.
Even as adults,
kids can feel
you know
that.
what I'm saying? Like with men, it's okay for us to cry. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that when it comes to mental health too, a man's ego and his pride. Man, look, man, the fuck up. Put that shit aside. If you know you ain't got the money to talk to a psych or a professional, and you want to talk to your lady, and you know some shit can be shared, share the motherfucking shit.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. Don't keep that shit bottled up. You gotta let that shit out.
That's
Because
how.
again, it'll fuck with your mental. You know what I'm saying? That's what make these motherfuckers go out here to these Walmarts, start shooting these Walmarts up. But they don't have the resources to talk to people. They don't have the people or the family to sit with them to talk these problems out. What they do? They go pick up an AK. They go pick up a machine gun, go to Walmart and shoot the whole goddamn mall up, shoot the stores up.
Yeah,
you know why?
man.
Because they don't have that. They don't have them people, the resources at home, or even a recreation center for them to go to. You know what I'm saying? To just get that anger out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up. And again, it goes with the kids to even us as adults, because mothers after birth, to these vets, to these convicts who's getting out of jail that did a long bid.
Yeah,
all that shit, man. All of it.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, man. We gonna end it on. We can go ahead and end it. You know, we ran late, but you know, we glad y'all stuck with us. You know, glad y'all tuned in today. You know, but key you take away from this is to solve the problems of your community, solve your problems at home. That is where you live at. Don't
Get your home right.
Get your home right. Sweep around your own front door, like the old songs used to say. Sweep around your own front door. Then you worry about the community, and you can fix it all the better. This is your boy Eddie tuning out.
Yeah, this is Maul.
And that's my man Ray on the phone.
Ray.
That's Ray. It's Jay over on the tables. Thanks for checking in. It's WHL. One love.
Peace.